Hello there. My name is Doug and I'm one of the facilitators for the course that you are taking. And if you're anything like me, you've probably in your lifetime sat through one or two bad PowerPoint presentations. Not only were they boring, but the slides were confusing and they didn't help you understand what you were looking at. Well, today I'm going to provide you with an alternative approach to designing your slides called the Assertion Evidence approach to slide design. Before I show you how to use the assertion evidence approach, let me tell you why it's effective and how it's effective. In some research done by Warner et al. In 2012, she found through an experiment showing presentations without using assertion evidence and those using with assertion evidence that more people in the audience remembered a presentation with assertion evidence approach. Not only did it help the audience members, but in another study done by Warner, that the presenters who use assertion evidence not only help their audience, but they themselves understand their content better by how the information is put together. So at this point, you're probably saying, Doug, you got to tell me, how do I use assertion evidence approach? No fear, I will tell you. The assertion evidence approach is very simple. It breaks the slide into two key sections. You have the assertion at the top and the evidence at the bottom. For the assertion, rather than using topics or questions to design your slides, that you write a full sentence, a full declarative sentence explaining the message of the slide that the audience will be looking at. No more than 2 lines long though. And then following that, you'll use the evidence underneath, not bullet points, not lots of words, not lots of text, but rather pictorial images to show and illustrate what the point of the message in the assertion is. As you can see from the slides that I've already used, I'm using the assertion evidence approach right here. So, some examples from my own life. I've taught communication courses before, and in one of my classes I've talked about something called social identity theory. Social identity theory is a theory that explains how people break into different groups and why groups are formed and what happens because of that. And if you've ever been to a sporting event, you can clearly see that people break into groups, red team or blue team. And social identity theory can be used to explain politics, racism, cliques in high school, and family divisions, or any number of things. But as you can see here, that I've got an assertion explaining my point, and then evidence illustrating what I'm talking about. And you probably already clearly understand some of the basic tenets of social identity theory from just looking at this slide. If I was giving another talk, let's say I was giving a talk on violence in Chicago, I might want to counter a claim that violence is everywhere in Chicago to say that violence in Chicago is not widespread, but clustered in certain neighborhoods. And for that, I would show you a picture of where violent crimes had happened, and I might even go so far as to highlight the 2 specific neighborhoods of where the crime is, and the rest of it is not nearly as violent. But as you can see, just looking at this slide, clearly I have an assertion on the top and I have evidence, pictorial evidence underneath that illustrates my point. Now, I don't know exactly what you're going to be using assertion evidence for, but it is a great tool to boil down complicated information into a solid message and then illustrate it for your audience so that they can easily understand your point. And in the end, not only does it help them, but it helps you as a presenter as well. And you may not end up being as happy as this lady that I found on a picture on the internet, but you will definitely reap the benefits and rewards of using the assertion evidence approach. I hope you have fun with it. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.